Following your owner's manual for oil changes? You're getting scammed. Modern engines with gasoline direct injection spray fuel at 2000 psi, that's 50 times more pressure than older engines. This extreme pressure forces gasoline past your piston rings, diluting your oil and turning it into engine-destroying sludge. And those 10,000-mile intervals manufacturers recommend? Pure profit strategy designed to keep your car running just past warranty. Today, I'm exposing 7 deadly oil change mistakes that mechanics see every day but never talk about because fixing the damage pays their bills. Stick around, because mistake number 5 is happening in your engine right now, and you have no idea. Your Toyota, Honda, Ford, any car built after 2015 runs a GDI system. Now let me explain why this matters to your wallet. Old fuel injectors sprayed at 40 psi. These new systems, 400 to 2000 psi depending on engine load. Why such insane pressure? The injectors spray directly into the combustion chamber, right on top of the pistons. They're fighting 150 psi of compression pressure. But here's the catch that nobody tells you. That atomized fuel doesn't all burn. Some of it blows past the piston rings straight into your oil. Go outside right now and pull your dipstick. Smell it. Does it smell like gasoline? That's fuel dilution. And your 0W20 synthetic oil, already thin as water, just got thinner. Gasoline doesn't lubricate metal. It corrodes it. Here's something weird that should worry you. Check your oil level every week. If it keeps going up between changes, you're not magically growing oil. Fuel is getting in there. On short trips where your engine never reaches 195 degrees for more than 10 minutes, that fuel never evaporates. It just accumulates, sitting there, diluting your protection. Turbocharged engines? Even worse. You've got GDI pressure plus boost pressure forcing more fuel past the rings. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost, the 2-liter turbo engines in Hondas and Mazdas, all fighting this same battle every single day. Now, the manufacturer says, change oil every 10,000 miles. That's marketing nonsense designed to make lease payments look attractive. Only 2 oil changes in 3 years? Sounds great, right? Meanwhile, your oil is half gasoline at 5,000 miles, and you're driving around thinking everything's fine. Here's reality. GDI engines need 5,000-mile intervals maximum. City driving? Short trips? Change it every 3,000 to 4,000 miles? Yeah, the old rule isn't dead, it evolved for these modern engines. Think about it this way. A $30 oil change versus an $8,000 engine replacement. You don't need a calculator for that math. Let me tell you about heat. Conventional oil breaks down at 300 degrees. Your turbocharger runs at 800 to 900 degrees at the bearing. Conventional oil vaporizes at those temperatures. It's gone. Then you've got metal-on-metal contact in a bearing that's spinning at 150,000 RPM. That's not maintenance anymore. That's scheduled destruction. Full synthetic handles extreme temperatures because it's engineered at the molecular level. The molecules don't break apart under heat stress like conventional oil does. Does it cost more? Sure. $35 versus $18 for conventional. But a turbocharger replacement runs $2,500 to $4,000. But here's what most people miss. You need the right specification too. Look for API SP rating or LSAC GF6. These prevent something called low-speed pre-ignition. That's a condition where fuel detonates early and literally punches holes in your pistons. GDI engines are highly susceptible to LSPI, and the wrong oil makes it exponentially worse. Check the oil bottle label carefully. You want GF6A or GF6B clearly marked on there. Not just the word synthetic, because any manufacturer can slap that word on a bottle. The certification is what actually matters for protection. Now, diesel engines are completely different. Diesel fuel is kerosene-based. It's actually a lubricant itself. That's why diesels can run longer between changes. But gasoline engines need protection from the fuel, not help from it. So let me ask you this. Save $15 per change using conventional oil, then spend $3,200 replacing a failed turbo. Which one makes more sense? Walk into any parts store and look at the oil filter section. Filters range from $4 all the way up to $25. Most people grab the cheapest one because filters all do the same thing, right? Wrong. And this mistake costs more than you think. Cheap filters use cardboard media that literally disintegrates. The bypass valve that's designed to open when the filter clogs, it sticks open permanently on cheap filters. Now you're running unfiltered oil full of metal, particles, carbon, dirt, basically liquid sandpaper eating away at your bearings. I've cut open cheap filters after 3,000 miles. The media looks shredded, falling apart. Cut open a Wix XP or Mobile One extended performance after the same mileage. Media is still intact, still filtering perfectly. Think about what's in your oil. Metal shavings from normal wear, carbon deposits from combustion, dust that snuck past the air filter. Your oil suspends all this contamination. Once the filter fails, those particles circulate through every bearing surface, every cam lobe, every cylinder wall, just grinding away microscopic amounts of metal with every revolution. Premium filters catch particles down to 20 microns. Cheap ones? 40 to 50 microns. A micron is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. Those microscopic particles create microscopic scratches that compound into major wear over time. Spend 15 to 20 bucks on a quality filter. Use Wix XP, Mobile One, or the dealer OEM filter. Here's a pro tip. After 1,000 miles with a new filter, check your oil pressure at idle with a warm engine. If pressure drops 2 to 3 psi from your baseline, your filter media is already saturated. Change it immediately, even if you're not at your full interval yet. Your odometer shows miles, everybody knows that. But modern vehicles track something else that 99% of drivers never look at. Engine hours. How long the engine has actually been running, regardless of distance traveled. You can access this through your vehicle information display. Go to Settings, then Vehicle Info, and there it is. Engine hours. Some vehicles need an OBD2 scanner to read it, but it's always being tracked. Why does this matter so much? Because 1 hour of idling equals 25 to 30 miles of highway driving when it comes to oil degradation. The oil is still circulating, still heating up, still getting contaminated, but your odometer isn't moving at all. Think about construction workers with trucks idling 12 hours daily, running power tools, delivery drivers in stop-and-go traffic, people who remote start their car every winter morning and let it warm up for 15 minutes. Let me show you the math. Odometer shows 20,000 miles. Engine hour meter shows 1,000 hours. That's 1,000 times 30, which equals 30,000 equivalent miles on your oil. If you're changing oil every 10,000 odometer miles, your oil has actually experienced 30,000 miles of thermal breakdown. Then people wonder why they're burning oil at 60,000 miles. Here's the formula you need to know. Take engine hours, multiply by 30, add your actual miles. That's your effective maintenance mileage. Now divide total engine hours by total miles. You should get 0.025 to 0.03. That means 1 hour of engine time per 30 to 40 miles driven. If your number is higher than 0.03, you're idling way too much and you need to cut your oil change interval significantly. Adding a quart of oil every 1,500 miles and thinking you're being responsible? You're not maintaining the vehicle, you're hiding a symptom that's about to cost you thousands. Modern engines should use less than 1 quart per 3,000 miles. Anything more than that means something is broken. Could be worn rings, burning oil, external leaks you haven't found, or a failed PCV system. Doesn't matter which one it is. What matters is you're not fixing the root cause. Here's what happens. Burned oil poisons your catalytic converter. That's a $1,200 to $2,000 part. And if your rings are wearing out, you probably also have fuel dilution from blow-by. So now you've got contaminated oil and oil consumption happening at the same time, double failure mode, heading straight toward catastrophic engine damage. Track it the right way. Every time you fill up with gas, check your oil level. Write down the mileage and the level. If you're losing more than 1 quart per 2,000 miles, get a compression test or leak down test done immediately. Don't keep a spare quart in your trunk and call it maintenance. That's just denial with a convenient carrying handle. And if your oil level is going up instead of down, that's fuel getting past the rings. Smell the dipstick. Gasoline smell means you need an immediate oil change, not more wishful thinking. Brand new car, fresh off the lot. Manufacturer says first oil change at 10,000 miles. Following that advice is a $10,000 mistake waiting to happen. New engines shed metal like crazy. Machining debris, piston rings, seating against cylinder walls, bearings wearing in. All that metal goes straight into the oil. The factory puts in special brake-in oil with extra detergents, but it gets filthy fast. Pull the magnetic drain plug at 15,000 miles on a supposedly well-maintained new truck. It looks like a metal porcupine covered in shavings. Cut open the filter and you'll find 20 to 30 grams of metal debris floating around in there. All of that has been circulating through the bearings for 14,000 miles, acting like grinding compound. Change your oil at 500 to 1,000 miles on any new vehicle. Use conventional oil for this first change because it actually helps ring seat better than slippery synthetic. Then switch to full synthetic permanently at 3 to 5,000 miles. This early change costs $40. The bearing wear you prevent is worth thousands in extended engine life. And no, extra oil changes won't void your warranty. They can't penalize you for exceeding maintenance requirements. Save every receipt, document everything. Professional fleets send their used oil to labs like Blackstone Labs, costs $30 to $40 per test. They analyze for 23 different elements: iron, copper, aluminum, silicon, fuel dilution, coolant contamination, everything. It's basically a blood test for your engine, and it catches problems before any symptoms appear. High iron content, your bearings or cylinder walls are wearing. High silicon, your air filter has failed and dust is getting into the engine. High fuel dilution, you've got ring blow-by or you're doing too many short trips. Coolant in the oil, head gasket is starting to leak. All these problems start small. Catch them early at 500 parts per million iron. Repairs cost hundreds. Wait until you hear knocking noises. Repairs cost $8,000 minimum. For any vehicle worth $25,000 or more, or anything you plan to keep long-term, send in a sample every other oil change. Build up a baseline, then track trends over time. That's maintenance based on actual data instead of guessing and hoping. This is exactly what corporate fleets do to keep trucks running 300 to 400,000 miles. They don't pray their oil is good, they test it and know for certain. Because most people do this wrong and get false readings. First, your car needs to be on perfectly level ground. Not on a slope, not in your driveway if it's angled. Level matters more than you think. Second, engine should be fully warm to operating temperature, then shut off for 10 minutes. This lets all the oil drain back down to the pan. Check it right after driving and your reading will be falsely low because oil is still up in the engine. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it completely clean with a paper towel, not a rag that leaves lint behind. Stick it back in all the way, then pull it out again. That second pull is your real level. The dipstick has two marks, full and low. You want it at the full mark. If it's below full, add half a quart at a time, then recheck. Don't dump a whole quart in and risk overfilling, because that causes its own set of problems. While you've got the dipstick out, look at the color. Fresh oil is amber and translucent. At 3,000 miles, it's light brown. At 5,000 miles, it's dark brown. If it's black and you can't see through it at all, that oil is completely finished. Change it immediately. Don't wait. Smell it too. Gasoline odor means fuel dilution. Burnt, acrid smell means the oil has been overheated and broken down. Either way, time to change it regardless of mileage. Check for any metallic sheen or sparkles in the oil. If you see that, you've got metal particles circulating. Get it to a mechanic for diagnosis right away. Do this simple check every single time you fill up with gas. Takes 30 seconds total. It catches $5,000 problems while there's still $50 problems. 7 deadly mistakes destroying engines every day, trusting manufacturer intervals instead of adjusting for GDI, fuel dilution and severe service, running conventional oil in turbocharged or GDI engines, buying cheap filters that fail and stop filtering, ignoring engine hours if you idle frequently, topping off oil instead of diagnosing consumption, skipping the critical 1,000-mile break in oil change, and guessing about oil condition instead of actually testing it. Oil changes cost $30 to $50. Engines cost $8,000 to $12,000. Filters cost $20. The math doesn't require an economics degree. Your engine will reach 300,000 miles with proper maintenance or die at 100,000 without it. The only variable is what you choose to do starting today. Change oil more often than they recommend. Use quality synthetic and filters. Check oil every week. For high-value vehicles, use oil analysis to catch problems early. These things don't require special tools or mechanic skills. They just require not being lazy and not trusting manufacturers who profit when your engine fails right after warranty expiration. If this saved you from expensive mistakes, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video where I'm exposing the brake fluid myth that's costing people thousands in unnecessary repairs.